joining us, we have Advika here. Before we get started, we'll just have a rapid fire introduction so we can get to know you a little better. So, what was your school and high school board?
I was in a boarding school in Dehradun, Vantage Hall Girl Residential School.
All right, college and year of graduation.
Right now, I'm in Cornell University, Dyson School of Applied Economics and Management, trying to concentrate in finance and banking and hopefully go to investment banking.
Major?
So the thing in my business school is that like there's only one major, that's applied economics and management. So we can choose our concentrations here. By my third year, that's my junior year. So I'm planning to concentrate in finance and business analytics. So let's see how that goes.
Other colleges that you applied to?
I was primarily focused on the business schools. So I applied to Wharton. I got deferred from Wharton. I applied to Purdue. I got accepted with scholarship. Penn State, I got accepted. Kelly Business School, I got accepted with scholarship again. UMass Amherst, Wisconsin Madison. And in the UK, I got into Warwick. And in Toronto, I got into University of Toronto.
So, academics, right? So, how challenging was school for you? I'm presuming your school was IG or IB, right? So,
It
what
was
systems?
CBSE.
Oh, it was CBSE. Okay. So yeah, again, how challenging was it for you, and what systems did you use?
Until my 11th grade, we still had COVID, of course. So the second wave of COVID was still there. I came back to my boarding school in the second half of my 11th grade. So like when I came back, like the students that have to apply for schools abroad, like that's when like they really start picking up the pace and they start finding the colleges, the deadlines for ED, RDEA and all that. I sort of stopped focusing a little on CBSE and started focusing more on SATs, what kind of college do I want to go to, like what are the core subjects that I'm actually looking to study for. It's not like I completely ignored CBSE, how much my classmates were putting in efforts, like the ones who got into ITs or DUs. I was not doing that much CBSE work. My time was devoted towards the college application and just SATs. Back in 11th grade, I also thought of doing APs and I signed myself up for AP stats. However, 2 to 3 weeks into AP, like I realized that I cannot do this without a tutor, and my school was not able to provide a tutor. So I ended up like just dropping the AP course. But some of my friends, my classmate who studies at Berkeley, so she continued to pursue it. And so like the students who were applying abroad, we mostly just focusing on the core subjects. Me specifically, it was maths and accounts. Yeah, that's how 11th and 12th was. And then in 12th, by December, January, when I was finally done with all the applications, that's when like CBSE took like the really pace on me. And then I was like studying really hard those 2 months just so that I could get a decent score on the boards. My 12th grade marks did not matter in the end, anyways.
So then, what was like? So obviously, you were doing like quite a bit of stuff when it came to like applying abroad and stuff, right? Well, how did you like manage your time and your day, especially between like CBSE and all of this other stuff?
So because I was in a boarding school, my schedule was relatively rigid. However, my school was very accommodating and like they let me like miss classes here and there. And then I had my own startup, which I started in 11th grade by the end of 11th grade. So there was a lot of time devotion that my startup needed. So my school, of course, helped me in that also. Not only did I gain business expertise, but then also like just the time commitment that the school helps you with. There was one startup that I was handling, and then there were two more startups also that I was not founder of the startups, but like I played the role of a global ambassador for one. I was doing this online internship where I was the teacher's aide for a course. So that took up most of my time.
So that's super crazy, and that comes to like extracurriculars, right? So you talked about like all these different startups. So like how did they really come about? Like especially the one that you founded, as well as like your interest with the other positions, right? How did that really like come out?
So the startup that I founded, it's called Foodscape. It's so what our primary role is that we convert your unused spaces like your front yard, your backyard, or like the space on your terrace, and we convert them into food growing areas, and we provide those services to make sure that that your space is aesthetically pleasing, but also providing you some output at the same time. So that was my primary startup, and I was performing most of this on campus since we had a really huge campus, and then Like there were lots of space that the school was willing to give me to put my startup on practice. So I did that. And then apart from that, I was a part of a Sports for Change, that is this sports non-profit organization in the Middle East. So my friends from Bahrain, from Doha, Dubai, from Abu Dhabi. So we were all together, and we would organize like sports competitions and take donations. And then after that, my friend from Bahrain, who actually owned Sports for Change, so he would go and donate it to the charities over there. So there was this one competition that I actively organized in my school. We were having the district football women's soccer championship. So that's where I collected roughly 5 to 6K rupees, and then there's this foundation near my school, Sachidanand Foundation, for the underprivileged kids, and we donated money over there because like this the actual sports attire is quite expensive, like when you go and purchase the good quality of sports attire, like for example the studs or the high knee socks or the shin guards that you need, so that's quite expensive. So we helped them with that. And also, since I have a really strong passion for sports myself, so Sports for Change was something that was not really like a work to me, but like it was just something to relax after studying SATs and CBSE and this and that for the whole day, because I didn't have time to go and play. And in 11th and 12th, my health it really deteriorated very quickly. Like there was no energy left in my body to go and play. But then just somewhat being connected to sports, it was like a mood changer, a mind refreshing thing for me. There's this interest I have in sustainability. That's why I chose Foodscape, and my personal interest in sports. That's why I went for Sports for Change.
How did you like spend your summers then, right? Of course, like obviously you had SATs and even APs sometimes, right? But yeah, like how did you like arrange your summers? I know a lot of students struggle with that, right? So what was that like for you?
My summer in 11th grade, I did not really do anything that was college specific. I was just taking part in competitions here and there, whatever interested me, excited me. The summer in 12th, I was primarily focusing on SATs. So there was not much that I did during that time. Just like staying at home and at my own pace, I just like discovered a little more about finance and what is it about finance that really excites me, and what catches my attention in finance and the banking sector. Actually, the thing is, like when you're in a boarding school, like your vacation period is actually kind of slow. When you're back at school, that's when like the grind is happening, and you're working 24/7. So my summer was not really that eventful. It was basically just the SAT practice and just like college tips and reaching out to people for help.
And yeah, I mean, obviously, it looks like you really grinded for the SAT, right? So would you mind sharing like what your score was and also
Oh
like
yes,
any tips or
actually,
anything?
yes, I did prepare for the SATs, but like it was not going well. Like I wasn't able to. Math was pretty good. Math was solid for me, but English was like a tough spot. Like I would just not get it. So eventually, in the end, I did not submit my SAT scores to Cornell because it's test optional. So I felt like my scores were not that in the higher 1500 the 1500s range. So I did not submit my SAT score. Yeah.
All right, but like in general, then what was the application process like for you? Did you feel like your school was enough, or did you like need like external counselors and stuff like that?
Oh yes, I did take extra help. I had taken the help of Crimson Education, if you've heard of it. It's a little more focused in like Dubai and Singapore, so that area. So I took Crimson's help, and my school was there to help, of course. It was everything was very new to me. Like I did not know how to write like 2 pages essay only talking about myself and not making it like I'm bragging about myself, or oh, I'm so sad I faced this all in life and I had to go through this and that. So that was like a little tough for me. My personal essay took a lot of tries, a lot of drafts. Like there were times that I was so frustrated, I just want to like throw my laptop away and be, I don't want to study anymore. I don't want to go to college. But then like eventually, like you get the hang of it. It's difficult, but when you finally get there, the feeling is going to be so rewarding, so rewarding. Like like you actually felt that you've accomplished something in life, and then that feeling is just uncomparable. I did struggle eventually. There were days when I would have breakdowns, especially because of the SATs, because I was not performing well in SAT. And then most of the colleges were SAT optional, but I still felt that like to get a scholarship or like to get an honors program, SAT scores are important. Essays were something that I definitely struggled with. I think like my writing skills are still not as good as I want it to be. Like I'm still struggling a little bit, but yeah, my personal essays were a turning point for me, and like I I actually saw myself that from all that I faced in life, what have I actually learned from it? Just being able to type it down in a humble tone, or like not showing that, oh, it's such a sob story, have pity for me. So yeah, that was difficult, but I eventually got the hold of it. I think like one thing that was actually like difficult for me, like I needed help, was like segregating the colleges. Like when you actually get down to it, like there are many factors that you have to look into before selecting a college, because like there's fees for one, there's the reputation at one second, and then there's also like the type of courses that they offer, and then like what's the difficulty of like the classes that they teach there, how many students are actually like getting into good jobs. Because like for the Ivies, like most of these things are decided already, but the fees is like quite be an issue. Like you might say for the first year that, oh, it's okay, I'll take a student loan or my parents will manage somehow, but for 4 years going through that same attitude, and also there are some expenses that you have to handle here. Like sometimes you might not be prepared for those expenses, like the budgetary. Sometimes like they just might go off and on. So fees, and then like what kind of courses, and like just the attributes of the college. That was like a little difficult for me to segregate, because like you have to choose only 20 colleges, right? And I was not ready to write the coalition app again. So yeah, bringing it down to 20, that that was like, I was just worried that what if I lose or like lose a good opportunity, like lose a good school, just because one school has a better something than the other. But yeah, my counselor really helped me a lot in that, so it turned out okay.
Your entire startup, right? That's very interesting. How did that like interest come about in entrepreneurship, and like also, would you recommend it to other students? Like, what tips do you have? That kind of thing.
Yeah, so I was actually taking part in a business pitch competition that was organized by IM Calcutta. So that's when my friends and I found the competition. We told the school that we want to take part in it, and the school selected us. And then after that, so we all came up with this plan together, like bits and pieces. We joined it, and then we made this plan. We made this objective. So like as like we started working towards the plan, that's when I realized that I do not have entrepreneurial skills. Like that is something that I really lack. Maths and accounts and business studies, you can just teach that to anyone. Like there are books available, the classes will teach you that. But entrepreneurial skills, that was something that I was really lacking in like my business profile as such. So that's when I thought that, oh no, that like this has to be something that I actually put it in my stride, and not just say that, oh, I can't do it, so I won't do it. So my friends and I, we worked for it. We worked on this startup plan for almost a month, and we were remote at that time. So we were doing everything online. And since I was also in like a different time zone, because during the COVID, I was back at home with my parents in Doha, and my friends were in India. So like there was a minor time difference. So we were working around that. Yeah, we came about that plan, and I think like sustainability is something that's really the hot topic right now. People are really interested in how you're making a change in the society that you're living in. So Foodscape, that primarily focuses on sustainability and optimization of land, efficiency of land. So that idea really resonated with me.
Yeah. Do you have any tips for like, people like that may want to
Oh
pursue
yes.
entrepreneurship? Yeah, or like looking to get started but don't know where to get started from.
I'm no professional, I'm only speaking from experience. But yes, if you have an even a slightest bit of interest in anything, please go and explore it. You never know unless and until you touch your horizons. So please, like, step out of your comfort zone. Like, there's so many friends here at Cornell who are from India. So like all he wanted was that kids or just people in general have electricity 24/7. And for that, he pursued that interest by making solar panels. And like just a small interest goes a really long way if you put the hard work and if you have the potential for it. And you are not born with potential, you have to make the potential. So you don't have to find a startup, find a company, ask your dad to fund it or anything. You can just find small competitions that resonate with your interest, or just look online. There are a lot of companies that hire you for free working time period, not really like a job experience as such, but then like they will teach you quite a lot of things online. So yes, don't be afraid to explore your interests. Go ahead and explore them. You never know where it'll take you.
Yeah, just adding on to that, are there any companies in particular that you worked with, or ones that that do offer those free experiences that you've
Yes,
worked with?
so back in 11th grade, I really wanted to improve my writing. So I worked with these group of students from Bangalore. They were they were older than me, and they had this organization called Grisio. So what they did was that they were primarily focused on mental health awareness, and I had applied to be a content writer there. So like they really taught me about like how to really write articles, and especially when you're talking about sensitive topics like mental health awareness or the current affairs, for example. So like the type of tone that you should write in, and what kind of content are you supposed to use. So that's something that they taught me. And like I like just by reading articles of mental health, like random just pieces of writing, I could not have picked up like that style of writing just by reading other people's article. But what they did was like they actually explained it to me and taught me how to do it. And then like when I submitted my first draft, and they gave me like an honest feedback of my writing. So that was something that really helped me with writing, because like I knew that was my weak point for a while. Yeah, so that's like the example of one company that I worked.
Okay, so just wrapping it up, is there any final advice that you would give either to students out there right now or your past self itself? What are your like final thoughts or words?
Like teachers at my school and my friends would also say this, that when I was in 11th and 12th, so like I not completely, but I somewhat deteriorated myself, detached myself from all my friends, from like all the social life that they were doing, going into 11th grade, 12th grade, everyone was like super excited. And there I was sitting in a separate room in a building all by myself, and I was like studying. I kept my head down and I studied. Like that, and people used to say that, oh, we don't see you that often. Like, why are you working so hard? It's okay. You'll get there. You're smart. You're this, you're that. But then I actually found content in doing that because I knew that I was working hard. I was putting the efforts where it was needed. I knew that when I step out of my school in March of 2023, I have an offer so good that my parents are proud of me. My whole family is proud of me. My father, that has worked so hard for me all these years, he left his home all the way in India and he shifted outside without even without even knowing the language of the country that he was shifting in. All the sacrifices that they made for me, I made sure that they were not. So I personally found content in segregating myself from everyone, sitting alone, and like just working that hard. So if you feel like you have to stay away from everyone and sit and study, do not be afraid to do so. You are, if in the end, that is a very good learning experience from you. And like you're not completely gonna forget your friends or anything. Like you can meet them at the end of the day or in the start of the day. But yeah, just make sure that this time period from 11 to 12, it's very important for you. Make sure you actually like prioritize yourself and not really care about your friendship. Oh, my this friend told me that friend told me this. No, please don't go behind that right now. By March or by April, you'll have all your colleges acceptances. You'll know what you'll be doing for the next 4 years. You have lots of time to have fun then. Freshman year, you have a lot of fun. Colleges, of course, like they won't put so much pressure on you. So work your ass off in 11th and 12th. And trust me, the day your college acceptance comes in, it'll be all worth it. It'll be all worth it. And all those people who are trying to pull you down by saying that, oh, you're doing it too much, you're being a pushover, they'll be jealous of your college acceptance. They will be. So yeah.
Okay.